All right, guys, so we're going to begin this question. What is the value of this? So this is a substitution. So everywhere you see B, you put 3, C negative 3, P negative 2. So that would means we have negative 2, open bracket, B, which is 3, minus C, which is negative 3. So we do the brackets first. So we got negative 2. This is going to become a plus. So that's 3 plus 3, which is 6. Negative and a positive is a negative. So we end up with negative 12. So the answer is D. We know what brackets mean to multiply. So this really means 3 times 2. So the answer is G6, which is B. All right. Obviously, we can't add these two things because they're different terms, but both of them are even numbers. So that means both of them can be divided by 2. So 2 into 4 goes 2 times, 2 into 6 goes 3 times. So we can end up with 2P plus 3, which is D. Then we should know the multiplication rules. 4 times 5 is 20. And we know we got to add the powers, 2 plus 3. So our answer is 2y5, 20y5, sorry. This topic is binary. So it says you take A and you multiply it by B squared. So in this example, this is our A and this is our B. So that means we're going to say 4 times 5 squared. So 4 times 5 squared, which is 25. 4 times 25 is 100. Think about quarts. So our answer is C. A boy is X years old now. In 4 years' time, his sister will then be half his age. A boy is X years old. In 4 years' time, that means he's going to be 4 years older. So that would be X plus 4, right? In 4 years' time, his sister will be half his age. So you divide by 2. Or you say half of X plus 4. So which one represents half of X plus 4, which is D. Here we have simplifying algebra terms. So we group the like terms. So it will be 5u minus 3u. Because remember, if you move 3u, you got to move the minus in front of it. Minus 2v plus 2v. Then you also should know that these two are the inverse of each other. So they're going to cancel out each other. So it's just really 5u minus 3u, which is just 2u. Moving along quickly. Here we have brackets. So we know we got to multiply by the brackets, but you know you got to multiply by minus 3. So it's going to be 2p minus 3p plus negative 24. Because how we got our negative 3 times positive 8 is negative 24. And you know, this is going to become a minus. So this is going to become minus p. You should know why signs are different. So you have to take the sign of the bigger number, and 3 minus 2 is 1, minus 24. So your answer is C. X is equal to the square of y. X is equal to the square of y. So C, straightforward. Using the distributive law, you should know that this would be, we would just literally take out M because they have something in common. And when you take out F, M, we're going to be left back. P minus Y. So the answer is D. If n minus 3 is the largest of 4 consecutive odd numbers, first of all, what we should know is the difference between all consecutive numbers is 2. So what do I mean? Look at this. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. How do I get from 1 to 3? I add 2. I add 2. I add 2. So it says the largest. So they say 4. So let's consider this as the 4, right? So if n minus 3 is the largest, so n minus 3 is the largest. So let's say that's that. To go backwards, you got a minus 2. So this would be n minus 5, n minus 7, n minus 9. Then the smallest, which would be here, 1 in this example would be n minus 9. N minus 9. So n minus 9 is your answer. We have here an equation where we have y's on both sides. So we need to put all the y's on one side and all of the terms on the other side. So we would end up with minus 3y, because we're going to carry over 50, we're going to bring over the y, minus y is equal to negative 50 minus 26. So this would be minus 4y equal negative 76. So we divide by negative 4. We divide by negative 4. So this is looking like 76 divided by 4 is 19. So the negative going to cancel the negative. And so you're going to get A. All right, so we should know this is called equivalent ratio. So the first two numbers have a connection, the second two numbers have a connection, and it's usually the same thing. How do I go from 3 to 12? I might multiply by 4. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 4 times 7 is 28. The factor, so we know what the factor is this. We use the AC rule. A in this case is 1. So we're going to say 1 times negative 20 is negative 20. So we're looking for the factors of negative 20 that are going to give us negative 1, because that's the middle term, right? So I would just skip everything because I know it can't be 1 and 20, it can't be 2 and 10. So the only other option is 4 and 5. But because it needs to be negative, that means which one needs to be negative? The bigger one. So we're going to end up with x squared plus 4, x minus 5x minus 20. So you end up with your 4 terms, and then you factorize using distribution. So we group these two. So what's common here is x. So we're going to end up with x plus 4. What here have in common is minus 5. And when we divide by minus 5 on both sides, this is going to leave us back with x, and negative and cancel negative, leaving a positive. And then 20 divided by 5 is 4. How do we know that we're going right? These two match. So we're going to end x plus 4, x minus 5, or x minus 5, x plus 4, same thing. So let's see which one is this. Plus 4 minus 5. So our answer here is B. All right, let's keep it going. All this requires us to do is expand the brackets. So we have x minus y, x minus y. So the way I taught you is to break up the first bracket into 2. So it's a y, x times the whole bracket, y times the whole bracket. So it's going to be x times x minus y times x minus y. So let's go x squared minus xy minus xy. And you should know why this is xy. Yx is the same thing as xy. I just put it in the same order. Plus, because you know a negative and a negative is a positive, y squared. So these two match, so we know we could subtract them. So you're going to get x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. So which one is that one? D. Moving on. Next topic again is binary. So we have, if PQ represents this, we just got to find out who is P and who is Q. So this would be P and this would be Q. So it's the square root of 5 squared minus 3 squared. So that would be the square root of 25 minus 9, which is the square root of 16, which is 4. So our answer is 4. Here again, we have substitution. So we just got to substitute the values. L is negative 13. So that's negative 13 minus P squared. What is P? Negative 3. So negative 3 squared is just 9 over 2R. What is R? R is negative 4. So that's negative 8, because 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So here we will have negative 22 over negative 8. The negative is going to cancel. Then 2 can go into each of these here. If I use 2, this will become 11 and this will become 4. So it can become positive 11 over 4. All right, here we have some simplification. So we know we got to multiply out the brackets, right? So let's go over here. So that will be 4y, because 4 times y is 4y minus 8. Now we multiply by negative 3, so that's negative 3y. A negative times a positive is a negative 6. We group the like terms, so that's 4y minus 3y, because when you move 3y, you move in the minus in front of it. Minus 8 minus 6, so that would be y minus 14. So your answer is D. All right, so we have here indirect variation. So you should know then that y, okay, let's use the letters they give you. They say if L varies inversely as M, so that means L varies inversely to M. So that means L is equal to K over M. Okay, this is something you should remember. This is the formula. Indirectly means obviously inverse of M, and then it's K times this. That's why you have K over M. So it says here, and M is 10 when L is 5. So L is 5, K, and M is 10. All right, so obviously we have to find what K is. So because K is in the numerator, we multiply to get rid of 10. We multiply by 10 on both sides. So that means cancel. So that means K is equal to 50. Once we know K, we can find anything else. So they ask, what is the value of M when L is 30? So now we substitute again. L is 30. We know what K is 50. We don't know what L is. M is, sorry. So we put that as X. Because X is in the denominator, we should remember what do? We switch. So X is equal to 50 over 30. Cancel, you end up getting 5 over 3, which is B. All right. Which property is demonstrated in the equation? Here, we should see that A is being distributed to B and C. That's what it next to say, obviously, is distribution. So the answer is A. Because you should know what all of this means. Commutative means AB is equal to BA, or A plus B is equal to B plus A. Identity is when you multiply by a number, which is 1, to get back the same answer, or you add 0 to get back the same number. And associative deals with the order in which something is being done. So you usually have 3 things. So it's not any of the others by elimination. All right, so let's keep it moving. Here we have another factorization using the AC rule. So this would be 6 times 2, which is positive 12. But look at the number in the middle. The number in the middle is negative. So that means we need 2 negative factors. And I know negative 3 times negative 4 will give me 12. And 3 plus 4 is 7. So this is going to end up giving us 6p squared minus 3p minus 4p plus 2. Then we group first 2 and we group the second 2. Notice what's going on with the signs. Signs are different, so we got to pay attention to that. What do these 2 have in common? They have 3p in common. If I divide this by 3p, this 3 to 6 goes 2 times, and a p gone, so that's 2p minus 1, because you divide by 3p, you get 1. So here we have 2p minus 1. Now look at this. We want minus in the middle here, but minus is in the front and at the back. So you should know what to do. You pull out the minus so that the signs could switch. So for example, what do these 2 have in common? They have 2 in common. So if you pull out negative 2, so divide by negative 2, you see, this and this is going to cancel and give you positive 2p. And then you should know positive divided by a negative is negative. So that's why you can get 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So we have our brackets matching. So our answer is 2p minus 1 and 3p minus 2. So we're just looking for one where both of them are negative. So our answer here in this case is A. half of P, so let's write down half of P added to 3 times the square, added to 3 times the square of P may be written as, so let's see which one of these here match. Half of P, so the answer is B. All right, let's look here now. Remember, you got to find the LCM, and because it is a algebra term, you have to make sure the coefficient and the variable find something in common. So what does 7 and 5 have in common? It has 35 in common. And the M, they already have in common, so you put the M here. So the question is, how do I change 7M to 35M? I multiply by 5. Well, we to the bottom into the top. So that would be 20C plus, what do you do to change 5M to 35M? You multiply by 7. 3 times 7 is 21C. So that would be 41C over 35M. So your answer is A. 24. It says if X is equal to that, then 6P is equal to, so we need to just transpose to find how do we figure this out. So we multiply out the brackets. So that means X is equal to 3P minus Y, 3Y, sorry. And so let's make 3P the subject. So that means 3P is equal to X plus 3Y, because if you move 3Y over, it's going to become positive. No, they want you to make 3P into 6P. That means we just got to multiply each side by 2. And then, so that means 6P is equal to, you put 2 outside, because you should know that multiplying by 2 is the same thing as putting the 2 outside the brackets. And do we have that 2? X3Y? Yeah. All right. The statement 3 is added to 7 times. So 3 is added to 7 times a certain number, and the result is 22. So 7n plus 3 is 22. That's the same thing. All right, here we have another example of substitution. So this is negative P, which is what? Negative P raised to the power of 3. Now you should know, sorry, not negative P. I don't know why I said negative P, negative 4. Negative 4. Now, just by using this example, you should know that the answer can be negative. And you should know negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. So you could do this by elimination. This is going to be positive 16. Positive 16 times 4. 16 4 is 64. So it'll be negative 64B. All right, 27. The Y varies directly as the square of M. So Y varies directly to the square of M. So that means Y is equal to KM squared. If P is a constant, then Y is equal to, for the same, if P is a constant, constant means K. So Y is equal to PM squared. Everybody see that? So your answer is C. How do I find N? N is being divided by 4. So if you want N, you multiply by 4, which is the opposite. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the opposite side. This and this cancel. 25 times 4 is 100. So our answer means 25 times 4. It didn't ask us for the answer. It asked us what we should do to find N. So same thing here. All right, let's go. We know a negative and a negative is a positive. So we know these two can be the answer. And then we know 6 times 4 is 24. So it could only be this one, because we're not adding the powers, we're multiplying. All right, same thing here. We got to solve and find Y, and we got Y on both sides. So first, you always get rid of the brackets. So we're going to end up with 5Y minus 10 is equal to 3y plus 12, right? 5 times y, 5y minus 5 times 2, 10. 3 times y, 3y plus 3 times 4, 12. So we just move all of the y's over on one side and all of the constants on the other. So 3y is positive here, so it's going to become 5y minus 3y because the sign changes, equal to 12 because 12 was there first, minus 10 going to come over and become plus 10. So we're going to end up with 2y is equal to 22. So y is equal to 11. So the answer is D. Same thing here, except we got to be mindful of our negative sign. So let's go. So it's 3x plus 3y minus 5x plus 5y. And you should know why it's plus because this sign gonna clash with this sign and become positive, right? So all we gotta do is move around. And so we're gonna end up with 3x minus 5x plus 3 plus 3y plus 5y. So this is gonna give me negative 2x plus 8y. So this is the same thing as this, because all you got to do is change the sign, switch them for it to be the same thing. All right, let's go. 2 times 5 is 10. The powers you add, so you're going to add 2 plus 3, because when you're multiplying variables that are alike, you add the powers. So our answer is 10x to the 5th power. 10x to the 5th power, that's D. If x is an integer that satisfies the inequality, so obviously here we want x, so we got to get rid of the 3. So what is happening here? Multiplication, so we divide. But we got 2 sides, so we got to divide by 3 on all sides. So this going to cancel. So this going to become 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 3. So which one is that one? The answer is C. Here, same thing, we got a square. This means 7y times 7y. So 7 times 7 is 49. Y times y is y squared. Right, so I'm going to do this one. 6 plus 4x is equal to 2. They want to find x. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this over on this side. So this is going to be 4 over x is equal to 2 minus 6. So 4 over x is equal to negative 4. And if, I don't know if you remember what I taught, if the thing that you need is in the denominator, you switch it. So 4 over negative 4 is equal to x. So x is equal to negative 1. All right. Think of a number. So that number would be x. Add 8 to it. Multiply this sum by 3. Because it's two things, you put a bracket, you put 3 outside. The result is 48. What is the original number? So now we just solve. So I'm going to show you the short way. Because this means 3 times the bracket, I could divide by 3 on both sides. So I'm going to end up with x plus 8 is equal to 48 divided by 3, which is what, 16? Yes, 16. And then I just carry this over. X is equal to 16 minus 8, which is equal to 8. So the answer is B. All right. So here we have another binary operation using x and y. So this would be our x and this would be our y. So it says that y over x, so that's 7 over 28 minus 1 whole. So first thing I will do is break this down. 7 going to itself once into 28 4 times. So that's a quarter minus a whole. Now I will just make this into a fraction with a denominator focus to make it easier. 1 over 4 minus 4 over 4, because 4 over 4 is the whole. And then you subtract like normal. The denominator can stay the same, but 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So your answer is negative 3 quarters. All right, which one of the following is defined below? So first thing you need to know is that x is less than or equal to positive 2. Tell me positive 2 is the biggest number. X is not bigger than positive 2, and it is the smallest number is negative 4. So there's a mistake with this because 2 is missing, as you can see. So your answer here would be D. All right. So next binary, this is our A, this is our B. So it's a square root of 5 times 4 minus 4 square. So that will be 20 minus 16, which is the square root of 4. So our answer is 2. Same thing here. M star N is NM. So who is this is M and this is N. So N is at the bottom. So that means 2 raised to the power of 5. So write it out because it's 2, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. 16 times 2, 32. Answer is 32. All right. So here we have for this solve for x. So we just got to transpose. We just got to be mindful of the negative signs when this moves. So we're going to have 2x minus 6 is greater than or less than 12. When you move this over, it becomes positive. So 2x is greater than 12 plus 6. So 2x is greater than or equal to 18 divided by 2. So that means x is greater than or equal to 9. So answer is A. The range of the values of x for which this, so it's the same thing here again. So we have 3x plus 9 is less than or equal to 6. So 3x is less than or equal to 6 minus 9 because you move the plus 9 over, it becomes minus 9. So 3x is less than or equal to negative 3. You divide it by 3 on both sides. So x is less than or equal to negative 1. Answer is C. Here we're just multiplying out brackets. So I'm just going to come over here. So we have A minus 4, 2A plus 3. So do what I taught you, split the first bracket into 2. So it's going to be A times the bracket, negative 4 times the bracket. So let's write down A times 2A plus 3. And then negative 4, 2A plus 3. So that will give us 2A squared plus 3A minus 8A minus 12. So like terms, so we got 2A squared. This will give me negative 5A because 3 minus 8. And then you have minus 12. So 2 minuses. So our answer here is B. 44. So we just got to pay attention. This is another substitution. A is negative 3. So that's negative 3 over B, which is positive 2. In brackets, square by 3. So let's bring this over here. Negative 3 over 2 to the third power is you multiplying this 3 times. So let me just jump right into it. So that will be negative 3 over 2 times negative 3 over 2 times negative 3 over 2. This is an odd number. The power is odd. So remember, when the power is even, your answer is going to be positive. When your power is odd, your answer is going to be negative. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So it's going to be negative 27 over 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So your answer is negative 27 over 8. All right, we're moving along. It says here, H is negative a quarter. K is a half. So negative, H squared is negative 4, negative a quarter square plus K squared, which is a half square. So this is going to be positive 1 over 16 because 1 times 1 is 1 and 4 times 4 is 16 and a negative is a positive. So this is what this means. Remember, both of them is negative. So negative and negative give you a positive. Plus half, same thing. This will give me a quarter. So what do you have in common? 16, 4, 4. So our answer is 5 over 16. The values of y which satisfy this and this. This is what we call simultaneous equation. So let's set this out. 2x plus 4y equal 54. 2x minus y equal 19. Now, because this is equation 1, this is equation 2. These two match, so we can get rid of x. So we're just going to subtract them. So this is going to give me 0, but 4y minus negative y, these two negatives are going to become a positive. So it's going to become 4y plus y, which is 5y, equal to 54 plus 19 is 73, right? Sorry, it's supposed to minus. I just realized it's not added because it's 54 minus 19. 54 minus 19 is 35. Sorry about that. 35. That looks right. So now we transpose to find y. So y is equal to 7. No, I wouldn't go any further because there's only one answer here that has 7. So I would choose that one. But just to make sure you're right, you substitute 7 into any one of these to see if you get back the same thing. So let's try substitute into 2x. So 2x minus y is equal to 19. So 2x minus 7 is equal to 19. So we carry over. So 2x is equal to 26. No, 19 plus 7. Oh, you see why you can't jump to anything? So let's look at it. The answer have been 7, but this and this time is 7. So it's equal to 26. So you divide by 2 on both sides. So x is equal to 13. So your answer is 13 and 7. Which one got 13 and 7? Your answer is D. All right. So this is a lot, but let me show you how you work this out. So this minus gonna affect everybody here. So this is gonna stay the same. So this is gonna be 2a minus 4b minus c. So this is gonna become minus 5a. It's almost like you're multiplying by -1. This is gonna become minus 3b. And this is gonna become plus 2c. Why is it plus 2c? Because when this negative and this negative come together, it becomes a positive. Now that we have this, we rearrange or we group 2a minus 5a minus 4b minus 3b minus c plus 2c. So this will give me negative 3a, negative 7b plus c. So I think the answer here is D. Then we have to factorize. So 1 times negative 10 is negative 10. What are the factors of negative 10? That could give me positive 3, 2, and 5. So which one gonna be bigger? 5 gonna be bigger because it's positive, so it's gonna be -2. So we're gonna end up with p squared minus plus 5. Why did I choose minus to go to the back? So it could match with this negative here. So it's gonna be 5p minus 2p minus 10. See, so I just switch it so that it could match the two negatives and two positives. So when I pull out p, I'm gonna end up with p plus 5. Pull up the two negatives, it will be -2 p plus 5. Because if you divide by -2, divide by -2, you get positive p and positive 5. These match. P plus 5, p minus 2. So what is that? Plus 5 minus 2 plus 5 minus 2. All right, here, this looks familiar, but let's see. 4 times 5 is 20, so it's one of these here, and 2 plus 3 is 5, this one. Same thing here, you multiply. Now, if you look at this is a factorization question, so you really just pull out what they have in common, which is a half. And when you pull out a half, what's left back? A times B, which is AB. A times B, yeah. So, um, the answer here is C, sorry. You see how I get excited and I circle around thing? The answer is that. Actually, this is wrong. Sorry. This is, you can't factorize because it's not addition. So this is actually correct. I was right the first time. A half times a half is a quarter, and A times B, AB. So it is this. Okay, good thing I verified. All right, let's keep it moving. If A is this, then B is equal to. So this is a lot of transposing. A is the big square root of B. You can't get to B because B is in here, B plus C. And if we realize there's two B's, so this is actually a complex question. So step one is to get rid of the square root by squaring both sides. So you end up with A squared is now equal to B plus C. Now, whenever you have a fraction and you want to make it into a linear equation, which means no fraction, you put this over 1 and then you cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply this way first. So this would be A squared times B plus C is equal to B. So what do we do next? We remove the brackets, which is what we learned to do. So this is A squared B plus A squared C equal B. Next thing you do is everything that having a B, you put it on one side. So this is going to come over and this is going to go because it has no B. So you end up with A squared B minus B because it was positive. So when it come over, it's negative, is equal to negative A squared C because it was positive. When it go over, it become negative. Now, anytime you have something in two things that you want, you factorize it out. So if we factor out B, we're going to left back here, A squared minus 1. Because divide by B, divide by B. Equal, you put back this, A squared C. Now we only want B, so this is multiplication, so we could divide by this whole bracket to cancel it out, and whatever you do on one side, you do on the other side. So B is equal to negative A squared C over A squared minus 1. So our answer is C. 52. If E is equal to 4, F is equal to this. This is substitution. So E, let's go. E is 4 minus F, and F is negative 5 plus G, but G is negative 7. So you see what's going on here? This is going to become 4 plus 5 minus 7. So that's 9 minus 7. That's positive 2. All right. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. All right, so we're going to get right back into it. So when it comes to this inequality, we solve it just like any equation, but we just have to be mindful of the rule where you either multiply or divide by a negative number, the direction of the sign changes. All right, so because we want to solve for n, we need to move minus 1. And because it has both sides, we got to move it both sides, right? So we're going to end up with negative 7 plus 1 is less than 2n, less than 4 plus 1, right? So we're going to end up with negative 6 is less than 2n less than 5. So then we divide by 2 on all sides. So we're going to end up with negative 3 less than n less than 5 over 2. So that would be B. All right. When x is negative 2, the value of 3x squared, so that would be 3 negative 2 square. You know you have to square first before you multiply. So negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So it's positive 12. Now, next one. You know that the denominators here are different. Even though both of them have an A, they are not multiples of each other. Remember, they have to be a multiple of each other for it to be the LCM. So the LCM of A and A minus 2 is A times A minus 2. So what do? I have to multiply this by A minus 2, multiply this by A minus 2. So the top is going to be 2 times A minus 2. And plus, how do I change A minus 2 to A minus 2? You multiply by A. So that's going to be plus A. So then you work out your top. 2A minus 4 plus A over A minus 2. So that would give me 3A minus 4 over A minus 2. So which one is that? That's D. Then we have here, when a number n is doubled and 9 is added, so that would be 2n plus 9. The resulting number is 5 greater than n. So the resulting number is 5 greater than n, which is n plus 5. Right? How could this statement be written? So 2n plus 9 is equal to 9 plus 5, so that's D. Next one is a substitution. So this is going to be 4 square 5 to the negative 1. And you should know 4 square is 16 and 5 inverse is 1 over 5. So it's the same thing as saying 16 times 1 over 5. 1 times 16 is 16 over 5. See? Right, same thing here, substitution, p is negative 2. So 4 times negative 2 to the third power. You know you have to do the powers first. So that's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative and a negative is a positive, and times a negative is a negative. So your answer is going to be negative. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So it's almost like saying 4 times negative 8, which is negative 32. Next one. Then one possible answer for f is, so it's almost like it's solving. So first thing to get f, you have to square root both sides to get rid of the square. So f minus 2 is equal to the square root of 9, which is 3. And then you carry over the minus 2, so it become f is equal to 3 plus 2. So f is equal to 5. But there isn't a positive 5. So the other answer could be f is negative 5, because even though negative 5 could be used as well, because look at this, negative 5. Sorry, the thing's sticking, so let me just fix this and get back. Okay, so the issue should be fixed. So let's see. All right. All right, so since there is no 5 option, we can't choose negative 5. That's not correct. We have to substitute to see which one gives us the right answer. So look at this. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Can't be that. Let's try negative 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So this is the option. If you try the rest of them, you'll see the same thing. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7, which is 49. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So the only one that works is B. So sometimes you have to work backwards, especially with multiple choice, right? So here we have an expansion. So, you got to multiply. So this would be 2a plus 12b. You multiply by minus 3. So that's minus 3a. A negative and a negative going to give a positive plus 6b. So you switch around. 2a minus 3a plus 12b plus 6b. So that would be negative a plus 18b. Okay. So we have another substitution. X is negative 2. Negative 2 to the third power times 3. So you should know this is negative 8 by now because we did it just above. Negative 2 to the third power. Negative 2 multiplied by itself 3 times is negative 8. So negative 8 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24. A positive times a negative is a negative. So negative 24. Same thing, here's another substitution. So we have 2 times 6 minus m, which is negative 3, minus 9w, and w is 2. So that's going to be 12 plus 3 minus 18. So that's 15 minus 18, negative 3. Here is subtraction, so you got to find the LCM. What is the LCM of 6 and 2? That's 6. C is the same variable, so you put it back. So since there's no change here, multiply by 1, multiply by 1. So A is the top number here. How do I change 2C to 6C? Multiply by 3. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top, so you get 3B. So A minus 3B. Almost there. If J and K represent odd numbers, which number will be even? You should know that to get an even number is the number right after an odd number. So you just have to add 1. So let's see which one works. So let's try 1 and 3. Let's try actually 3 and 5. 3 and 5. So 3 is the odd number, 5 is the odd number after, which will be even. So if I add 2 odd numbers, will I get an even? So let's try another example because this would give us 8. If I try 7 and 5, what would I get? 12. So it seems like this one would work. 3 times 5 is 15, so that's out. When you multiply, it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work when it is multiplied, if you add 2, that will give you another odd number. So the only other option is A. Okay. All right, so this rule, they have the same base. So it's going to be 5, 4 plus x. So which one has 5, 4 plus x or x plus 4? Let's see. Here we're solving for y. So first we got to do the denominators. What does 8 and 10 have in common? They got 40 in common. Multiply by 5. Multiply by 4. So you end up with 5y minus 4y is equal to 3. So that's going to be y is equal to 40 over 40 is equal to 3. Now, because we want to find y, we multiply by 40. Multiply 40 on both ends because y is in the numerator, cancel. So y is equal to 120. All right, a pair of A, B satisfied it. So A plus B is equal to what? So you make this easy by substituting one. Find one of them. So A would be 4 minus B, because you just move this over, right? So since A is equal to 4 minus B, we could use that, put this in and solve for one of them. So let's go. So instead of 2A, we're going to have 2, 4 minus B. Minus B is equal to 11. So that would be 8 minus 2B minus B is equal to 11. So when we subtract, we would get 8 minus 3b is equal to 11. So we subtract minus 3b is equal to 11 minus 8 because we bring over the 8. So minus 3b is equal to 3, positive 3. So we subdivide by negative 3 on both sides. So b is equal to negative 1. So which one of these got b as negative 1? Let's cut straight to the answer. Right? Because if you work it out the rest, you would realize that a is equal to that. Because if b is negative 1, a must be 5. So, all right. If b is equal to all of this and ab is equal to c, what is a minus b? Again, another substitution complex concept. So you have v is equal to pi h a plus b, a minus b. If you look at your answer does not have anything to do with a and b, so you're trying to get rid of that, right? So if a plus b is c, we know a plus b here. So we got pi h is c times a minus b. So since we know, because we need to eliminate, we need to find what a minus b is. So we divide by pi hc on both sides, pi hc. So this is going to cancel. So that means a minus b is equal to v over pi hc. V over pi hc, which is c. Another substitution. So that's going to be 2 times 3 minus 3 times negative 2 over negative 2 times 3. So this will give me 6 minus negative 6 over negative 6. So that's going to give me positive. So that's 12 over negative 6, which is negative 2. Right? So here we have to solve for x. So for me to get to x, I have to get rid of this divide by 2. So you multiply by 2 on both sides. So that will cancel that. So we're going to end up with x minus 4 is equal to 4. Then we carry over minus 4 to become plus 4. So x is equal to 4 plus 4. X is equal to 8. All right. So here we have f is equal to 2k plus 4. H is equal to k minus 1, and f plus h is equal to 24. What is k? So we need to solve for k. So let's substitute into this. So f is 2, because that's what you got to know how to do. You want something with only k in it. So f is equal to things that only got in k. H got things equal to only k. So if they tell you that is equal to a number, this is your starting point. And you substitute into this, because once you substitute into that, you're going to only end up with k values and constants, because you don't want an f, you don't want an h. So as I was saying, f is all of this. So that's 2k plus 4 plus h, which is k minus 1, equal 24. And then you just solve. So 2k plus k is 3k. 4 minus 1 is 3, equal 24. So you carry this over. So that's 3k is equal to 24 plus 3. 3k is equal to 27 divided by 3 divided by 3. So k is equal to 9. All right, next one. Here we have another situation where we have to solve for x. So we move over to c. So that will give me y minus c. We divide by m. So y minus c over m, which is c. Transposing. Sorry. Next one. So this is an inequality. So we have the first number is P, the second number is Q. So that's 2 times 5 squared minus 3 times 1. So that's 2 times 25. You always square first, minus 3. 50 minus 3 is 47. All right, next one, an inequality. So here, we need to put all the n's on one side and all the numbers on one side. So 2n gonna come over. It's gonna be n plus 2n is equal to 1 minus 1. So 3n is greater than 0. So no matter what you do, your answer will be 0. So n is just greater than 0. So v squared is equal to that. What is the value of c when if v is 16 and d is equal to 32? So you have 16 squared is equal to 2 c d, which is what, 32? So c is equal to 16 squared over 2 times 32, which is 64. And then you have to work over 16 squared, because 16 times 16, right? Now, how do you do this without a calculator the fast way? Let's try. I could divide both by 4. So 4 can go into this 16 times 4 can go into this 4. 4 can go into this 4. Actually, no. But that's the product there, yeah. So this would be what, 16? So it's going to be 4 times 16 over 16. 4 times 16 over 16. And then what they have in common, you can cancel that. So your answer is 4. Yeah. Why I can't cancel both of them? It's not an addition. If it was an addition, you would have had to cancel both. But because this is a multiplication, this is 1 unit, right? All right. So moving along, inequality. So we've got to multiply. So that's 6 minus 2y is less than or equal to 4y minus 12. So we move around, y is on one side, constants on the other side. So this is going to leave back negative 2y. Remember, this is with the 2y, so it has to stay. And then minus 4y can come over, because it's positive here, and come over and be minus. Less than negative 12, because that's what was there. Positive 6 can come over, become negative 6. So what we're going to end up with is negative 6y is less than or equal to negative 18. So we got to divide by negative 6. Because we divide by negative 6, the direction of the sign is going to change to the opposite way. So y and this is going to cancel is equal to 3. So our answer is A. Let's keep it moving. If n minus 3 is the smallest of 4 consecutive odd numbers, then the largest, keep in mind, as I was saying, that to get to one odd number to the next odd number, you got to add 2. So let's use an example, 1, 3, 5, 7. So to get from here to here, add 2 is the same thing for even numbers. To get from one even number to the next even number, you got to add 2. So if they say the smallest is, and consecutive means back to back. So if the smallest is n minus 3, the next one is n minus 1. Because if I add 2, that'll give me minus 1. And then if I add 2, that'll give me n plus 1. And if I add 2, that'll give me n plus 3. Remember, you're adding to negative numbers, huh? That's why you're doing this. So the answer is n plus 3. All right. Here we have to expand the brackets, but this is minus. So it's going to be 5a minus 3a minus 2b. So that'll give me 2a minus 2b. Yep. think we did this concept before. Both of them are even, so both of them could be divided by 2. So that will give me 4x because 2 into 8 goes 4, plus 2 into 4 goes 2. So answer is 4x plus 2. All right, so here we have the difference of two squares. So what is the base of 9a squared? 3a. So that's all a. And this one would be 2b. So how do we do that? We said 3a plus 2b. Difference of two squares. 3a minus 2b. So 3a. It doesn't matter which one comes first. So this is it. We just put a minus first. If this, so we need to solve for n, all right? So obviously we carry over this. So that's 140 is equal to 20 times n. So we divide by 20 on both sides. Zeros cancel too. So n is equal to 7. All right, if we expand the brackets, we separate these two. So again, this is just a bulletproof approach. So it's going to be y times the bracket plus 1 times the bracket. So y times 3y minus 2 plus 1 times 3y minus 2. So this is going to be 3y squared minus 2y plus 3y minus 2. So this is going to give me 3y squared. You should know that this is positive y because this one bigger. 3 minus 2 is 1 minus 2. So 3y squared plus y minus 2. Now here we should know that because it's division, it's going to be subtraction. So it's M4. Okay. So negative and a negative is a positive. 5 times 2 is 10. P times p squared. So 10 p squared, positive 10 p squared. This written as a single fraction because the two denominators are constant. The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So to get 12, you multiply by 4 above and below. So that's 4a minus to get 12 multiplied by 3. But this is two things. So you got to put 3a minus b. And then you simplify. So that's 4a minus 3a plus 3b. How did I get that? Because I'm multiplying by a negative over 12. So that is a plus 3b over 12. We gotta factorize this. This is just like the AC rule. This is 1, this is 20. So we need factors of negative 20. That's gonna give me negative 1. Negative 1 is the coefficient in the center. I don't know, it's 4 and 5. It's 4 and 5. So because it's negative 1, 5 can be the thing, the negative number. The bigger one gonna be the negative number. So we got p squared plus 4p minus 5p minus 20. So we have our 4 terms now. Group the first two, group the second two. These only got p in common. So that will be p plus 4. This got negative 5 in common. That'll give me p plus 4. So how we know we're going right? Brackets match. So that is p plus 4, p minus 5, or p minus 5, p plus 4, whichever one. So it's plus 4 minus 5. B. All right, this is equivalent fractions. How do I go from 2 to 12 multiplied by 6? So this number is times 6, which is 42. All right, express B in the terms of A. So that means B is the subject. Once you see this, that means B is the subject. So we got transpose. We got to get one term with B and then transpose it. So that means the LCM of B and 3B is 3B. So I got to multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, multiply this by 1, multiply this by 1. 2 times 3, 6. 6 plus 1. And all of this is equal to A. So again, this would be 7 over 3B is equal to A. Now, what do they want as the subject of this formula? They want b. So b is in the denominator, so you know you switch. So this is going to become 7 over a is equal to 3b. We didn't want 3b, they want b. So you got to divide by 3. Once you divide by 3 on one side, divide by 3 on the other side. So this is the same thing as saying 7 over 3a is equal to b. So is this. Apologies, guys. I'm not feeling so good, but we have to get through this video. So, like I was saying, you gotta divide. So these two become 3a, because once you divide a division, it becomes multiplication, because the opposite of the opposite is the inverse. All right. So just to make sure you understand, if I have 2 over 4 and I divide equals to 8, or we use something easier, is equal to 2a, and I need to find a. I gotta divide this by 2. So I gotta divide this by 2. So this really means 2 quarters divided by 2 over 1. So it's the same thing as saying 2 over 4 times 1 over 2, which is equal to 2 over 8. But instead of going through all of that, you just gotta multiply these two to each other. So that's how we get a is equal to 2 over 8. See, same thing, just shorter. All right, so now we could move on. And we could move on to this one. It says here, Simon is X years old. John is 3 years old. So Simon is X. John is 3 years older. So that's X plus 3. And twice as old as Ruth. So if Simon is twice as old as Ruth, I mean, Ruth is half of Simon's age. So Ruth is X over 2. The sum, I think this is sum, the sum of their ages is, so that means if I add x plus 3 plus x, a half of x. So this would be 2x plus 3 plus x over 2. So because this is 2, we gotta multiply everybody. We gotta multiply everybody by 2 to kind of balance it off. So multiply by 2 to get rid of that, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So we end up with 4x plus 6. Oh, if you look at it, it don't have that option available. So let me do it the way that it's available. You gotta find the LCM. So this is 1, this is another one. So the LCM is 2, LCM here is 1. So here you're gonna end up with 2x plus 2 times x plus 3 plus x. So let's work that out. That's 2x plus 2x plus 6 plus x over 2. Look at that. That's not the option. They break it down a lot more. So let's add up all the x's. So that's 6 x's plus 6 over 2. Okay. Is that right? The reason why this is so funny, I don't even know what the question asking. I think it's the sum, but I'm not sure. So this would literally just become x plus 3. 3x plus 3. but it's not looking like it's anything here, so I'm not sure. So we can just skip this one because the question is incomplete. So this is the last page. Let's look at this. So here we have brackets, so it's to multiply, so that's 2 times 3, so that's n6 is the product of, so they say which one could you multiply to get this? Not this, but this could give you another y square. This would give y cubed, so not that. 5y squared minus 20y, so not this. 5y squared, so the only answer is D, the elimination. Here, the LCM is 2a. So you gotta multiply by a here. You gotta multiply by 2 here. So that's gonna give us 3a squared plus 8 over 2a. 3a squared, so that's that. It says here, if this is equal to that, this is simultaneous equations. So we gotta solve this on the side. So 3p plus 2r is equal to 2. 2p plus 3r is equal to 8. So that's equation 1. That's equation 2. Sorry, that's equation 2. No, none of them matching, so we gotta multiply this one by 2, this one by 3 to get 6. So this will give me 6p plus 4r is equal to 4. This would give me 6p plus 9r is equal to 24. No, my issue with this is that this one to the bottom is bigger, so I'm going to subtract the opposite way. So this and this will give me 0. 9 from 4 from 9 is 5r. 4 from 24 is equal to 20. So we're going to end up with 5r is equal to 20. So all I did was subtract the opposite way so that I don't have to write over all of this. So you could write it over so that you're dividing the top from the bottom. So if this is 3, this is 4, you're really saying 4 minus 3. Okay? So you divide by 5 on both sides. So r is equal to 4. Who's the first one? So you see it is either between this and this because both of them have r as 4. So now we got to see which one it is. So since r is 4, we're going to substitute into this one. So 3p plus 2 times 4, because r is 4 is equal to 2. So that would give me 3p is equal to 2 minus 8. So 3p is equal to negative 6 divided by 3. So p is equal to negative 2. So our answer is C. All right? P is equal to 2r minus 3q is equal to r plus 4. Then p is equal to q when r. So we just put these equal to each other. So, because it said P is equal to Q, and this is P with the R's, this is Q with the R's. So 2R minus 3 is equal to R plus 4. So we just move all the R's on one side. So that's 2R minus R is equal to 4 plus 3. So that's 1R, or R is equal to 7. So the answer is A. All right, this is expansion. A minus B. And you should know this formula. The answer is going to be A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. This is actually a formula you should know, the perfect square formula. So the answer is B. Here we multiplying P 4 times negative 3. So the answer is P negative 12. Here's a substitution, a big one. So this would be 2 to the third power plus 2p, but it's not p, sorry. 2 times 2 to the second power times negative 3 minus 4 times negative 3 plus 8. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So that's 8 plus Gotta do the square first. That's 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then here we have negative, so that's plus 12 plus 8. So we just gotta work this out. So 8 times 3 is 12. 8 times 2 is 16. So this is gonna give me negative 16 plus 12 plus 8. So this will give me negative 4 plus 8, which is positive 4. All right, the sum of is, so if I'm adding these two, a over 2 plus negative 1 over 2, they have the same denominators as read already. So that's just a minus 1 plus a positive and a negative is a negative. All right. And then they say if a is equal to cd squared and a is equal to b over d, then a is equal to, trying to understand something. So if you notice, your answer has an E. So that means we need to use E. But to get E, E is B over D. And we got D. So we need to figure out what is the equation for D, right? So we're going to say since E is equal to B over D, but we want D, but that's just what, this is what telling you what to do. If you look at your answers have no D in it. It only has B, E, and C. But the equation for A having a D, so that means you have to substitute whatever D is so that it's not in your overall answer. So here, D is in the denominator, so you switch it. So that means D is equal to B over E. So you see where you got no more D's? So let's use the formula for A now. A is equal to C D squared. We know what D is. D is B over E. So A is equal to C times B over E squared. So that's A times C, B squared over E squared. Just this one. Last one, it's a biggie, but it's easy because the denominator is both denominators are constants. So let's get some room. So the LCM would be 12. So I have to multiply this by 3 and all of this by 3. And I multiply this by 4 and all of this times 4 equals 0. So we got to solve for x. Ooh, let's go. So that's 3, 4x plus 5 minus 4, 3 cross bracket 9 plus 2x. All this equals 0. So let's work out the top. So the top is going to be 12x plus 15 minus 36 minus 8x over 12 is equal to 0. Everybody see that? So now we just group our like terms. So that's 12x minus 8x plus 15 plus 15 minus 36 over 12 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is going to give me 4x minus 11 over 12 is equal to 0. Oh, this is not 11, this is 21. So we multiply by 12 on both sides to get rid of the denominator. So we have 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. And so then we have, move this over, so 4x is equal to 21, positive 21. You divide by 4 on both sides. So x is equal to 21 over 4. So 21 over 4. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So all the questions that you needed help in understanding, I hope this helped. All right, that's it.